Good evening, YouTubers. Hazelnut mocha. Anyhow, this evening show, oh lordy, yeah, having some heating issues in my studio, so yeah, I gotta take care of that first before I can do another show out there because there's no way I'm freezing my buns off. It's cold. We're having a harsh winter, just like the plant on the side of my shed told me we were going to. Anyhow, Hartford, Connecticut. Wow. This is called the Shit That Pisses Me Off show, but this has me completely floored. I can't believe this is allowed to go on in our country. A gentleman got in trouble with the law, got put on probation, got more trouble with the law because of what he's choosing to use as medicine. Okay. But a federal judge Friday ruled that it was cool to forcibly shove chemicals down this guy's throat. He's bipolar. So he can stand trial. Really? And this judge doesn't see where the human rights violation is? I mean, what the hell? Anyhow, I'm going to be calling the Attorney General's office in that state tomorrow morning, post-haste, because that, I don't even have words for that. That's just absolutely disgusting. Didn't the Nazis do that to people? You know, forcibly inject them with shit. Yeah. Okay. Then we have people like Bush. I saw his book in the store today, and I'm like, gag. And actually what I did is I picked it up and I said, hey, look. I said, toilet paper. Anyhow, yeah, I just had to throw that in because that fucker should have charges brought on him. But his wars are coming to an end. People are getting tired of fighting them. And have you noticed this WikiLeaks? Duh. I mean, everything they're telling us, people like me already have seen coming, and see happening all the time, and everybody just sits back and says, oh, well, you're a lunatic if you believe our government is this, that, and anything but pure. Okay, we should stop being the world police. All they're trying to do is, these two wars are dying out. And Bush, the one that put his book out on the shelves for y'all to buy, please don't buy it. Don't support him anymore. These wars we're fighting are putting money in his pocket still. And he committed perjury, and he's still getting away with it. And people are, and if you say anything bad, oh shit, you're a piece of crap. No, you're not. Disdain is very patriotic. Showing your disdain for a situation is very patriotic, especially something bullshit like that. That shouldn't be continuing to happen, but it is. So please, I implore people, I'm begging you, don't spend your money on Bush's book. I mean, unless you really need toilet paper that bad, and the store is out of toilet paper, and the only thing that is left is Bush's book. So Ron Paul, if you're listening to me, I'm begging you, please run for president, because I'm going to write you in anyway. And anybody else that supports Ron Paul, write him in too. Screw it, we'll throw our vote. We're sick and tired of the crap, and it needs to stop. Yes, Iran is horrible. They hang protesters. Yes, North Korea, that speaks for itself. But why can't somebody else step up for a change? Like a country that has like a lot more money than we do, because we're broke. We cannot sustain the path that we're on. And people are, oh, it's just, oh, you're a fearmonger if you say things are getting worse. Well, no, I'm not a fearmonger. I'm just looking at reality. Reality is we're still in the toilet. And as long as we're fighting wars, we're still going to be in the toilet. And we got stuff right here at our feet that we need to clean up. Drug cartels. And that brings me to my next subject of human rights that are being violated. A gentleman, Roger Christie, down in Hawaii. Bless you, man. He's been denied bail 4 times by the feds, DEA. He had a church. that was based around cannabis. He grew plants for him and other people that were also patients, because it is a medical marijuana state. Denied bail 4 times. Yesterday was the 1-year anniversary in the state of Washington. There were 4 police officers gunned down by a man who was crazy. He was out on bail. He was not denied bail. And his charges were not cultivating marijuana and conspiracy, because he is a spiritual person, but they're labeling him like a crazy person so they can put the conspiracy charge on this man. Disgusting. Disgusting. Okay, we have a First Amendment right that protects us. His First Amendment is being violated, and then now, and anyhow. So they bailed this guy out, right? Well, guess what the guy was bailed out for? Just guess. I'll give you 3 guesses. You're never going to guess it. He was out on bail for child rape. That's right, folks. That's what I said. Child rape. He got out on bail for child rape, went out, boom, killed 4 cops sitting in this whatever restaurant or some kind of setting, and they had their laptops doing their paperwork. What in the fuck is wrong with that picture? Folks, can you tell me? Do you feel like you're on Sesame Street where you're looking at one of these things is not like the other? That is so black and white and plain as day. Common sense has left our country. We have allowed corporations to take over, and greed has ensued, and there's no free market. The lack of free market is killing our country. That's why I support Ron Paul wholeheartedly, because that man, he knows what's going on and he knows what it's about. And our sovereignty is, we're losing it, folks. And all you sheep out there that are real happy with TSA grabbing your nuts and you losing your freedoms, and you drive down a highway, and the mere fact that you're driving down a highway, folks, if you run into one of those NSA or Homeland Security checkpoints, know your rights. All you have to do is say, excuse me, but you have no probable cause. You have a nice day. Goodbye. Driving down the highway is not probable cause. You are free to move about the country. Read the Constitution, folks. On my next show, I'm going to have an address that you can go to. You can get a free copy, and there's also options where you can order more than 1 copy. And I'm thinking about doing that so I can keep the Constitution on me at all times and hand it out to people. People, you need to learn your rights. You need to learn the Constitution. You need to stop these a-holes on the Hill from erasing it. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to totally erase everything. The Patriot Act is unconstitutional. Prohibition against hemp and cannabis, not just cannabis, but hemp also. Henry Ford, look at Henry Ford. He was so passionate about hemp that he made an entire car made of hemp. Everything, except for, like maybe the rubber tires, a few things, but it also ran off hemp too. How can someone so passionate do a 180 and flip around and conform to all the other corporations and, oh yes, I support this? You don't think he wasn't fucking threatened by the big banks that were really in control? I mean, really. We're locking up and denying bail to people that grow a fucking plant, but child rapists get out so they can shoot 4 fucking cops? I mean, really. And if you see their pictures, they didn't look like assholes. They look like they were probably really good cops. And we lost 4 really good cops because the judicial system is retarded. Not only is it blind, it's retarded. And it's not distributed fairly or evenly. It's just stupid, folks. That's unjust. And this gentleman, I'm going to try to find him some help in that state somewhere. Somebody's got to help him, because forcing somebody to take chemicals is disgusting. That's practices that the Nazi German people did during World War II. They experimented on the Jews and the Polish people and subjected them to disgusting shit. And now we're doing this in our country? What the fuck is wrong with people? That is just, to me, that's sick. It's sick, 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 sick. Now, if you're an alcoholic, yeah, they may force you to take chemicals. But that is like, instead of doing that, why don't you just make them stay in jail longer? Make the punishment for driving drunk If you drive drunk and you kill somebody, you can get charged with fucking murder. How's that one for size? You know, I mean, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. People that kill people that are drunk. A guy just got sentenced to 2 years. He was drunk. And this guy that grew a fucking plants down in Hawaii, is looking at 20 years on the conspiracy charge alone. That doesn't count all the other charges. It's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. And people need to wake the fuck up and do something. You know, get involved. You know, peaceful protest. Nobody has to pick up a gun and blow someone's brains out to get your point across. I mean, civil disobedience in a peaceful manner can get the job done. You know, but people, oh, you talk like that. Ooh. So what? Sorry, my camera's like balanced on a pillow. I had to raise it up so I could sit up straight instead of slouch down at the camera. And it's moving, sorry. But anyhow, my point is, all this bullshit has to stop. And the only way that's going to stop, Mr. Paul, is if you run for president. And I'm telling you, if you don't get appointed to that position, I am going to raise a stink, big stink, and it's not going to be pretty. Because I got a fence out in front of my house, faces the highway. I can and will make poster boards, fluorescent motherfuckers, real loud and noisy. And if people don't fucking like it, they don't have to look at my fence. Anyhow, that was today's episode of Shit That Pisses Me Off, and it just keeps getting worse. So, you know, fucking Obama, it's not a good idea to start fighting wars. And I understand that you're under conflict right now, and you're really just not saying anything because you're afraid to open your mouth. But you know what? You need to start standing up and doing something. You know, and that something is to dig your heels in and let's end wars. Wars are stupid. All they do is feed the rich and bury the poor. Thank you, Axel. And remember, trust no